I'm here with Beth Huntington, the Renegade Seamstress, which I actually love that name. She's actually written an amazing book called The Re-Fashion Handbook, and we are lucky enough to have her here with us today to talk about some easy scarves. And scarves are, I love scarves as an accessory because you can put them on in the spring, you can put them on in the summer, and of course in the winter. So they're just basically an all-year accessory. So tell me about your easy ideas on how to make scarves from things you might already have.
Sure, you might already have them, or it might be something you pick up at a thrift store. A really good thing to start with, and it would be no sew, you don't have to do any sewing, would be to start with a knit dress or a knit scarf. So I had bought this dress at a thrift store, which I really liked it, but the length was horrible on me. It hit
like kind of like 80s length or something?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I probably wore it, you know, in the 80s or something. So I just cut the bottom off of it, and you don't have to sew it or anything. I think I did about 14 inches or so, and it just becomes, once you just cut right along the edge, it just becomes an infinity scarf.
And that's the nice thing about knits is they might actually curl up a little bit, but it actually adds to the look, honestly. So you've got a great little infinity scarf there, and they're so big right now. I mean, for young girls and grown-up moms. Yeah,
and you can wear them with anything. Yeah. And so I found this skirt at a thrift store, and I thought, well, that, you know, it's a little bit too floral. I wouldn't wear it as a skirt.
Really?
No. But you can just take, if you measure about 14 inches or so, that's probably a good,
we're going to do that.
A good length, about 14 inches, and see where that would be.
There's that.
And then you could, if you had a rotary cutter and just like
here, this is a rotary cutter, and these make things really easy. Yes, you need a mat, which we don't have here with us today.
No, but you can also do it with scissors. So you would just you could fold it in half and then fold
That's actually a really important tip, to make things even. Fold it as many times as you can actually, and still get your scissors through it, because then you're going to just cut one line but a shorter line, and it's going to make it even. So Beth is just measuring like right here, and so we have a very short distance to travel with our scissors, which is nice.
You just cut right up here, and since this is knit, you're not going to have to put a seam in it. It's not going to fray or anything. So
and look, a mini skirt.
For a little girl. You could do that for a little girl or something.
This actually would be cute for a little girl. Okay, so then Beth now has a cute
little infinity scarf that you could do several times, and
that took us about a minute.
Yep. So you can do it. You know, it's just the tip is to look for knit, because knit would be the
for the infinity, for the no-sew infinity. What I'm most excited about though is these frayed edge scarves that you make. This is such a beautiful scarf. First of all, I love blues, but the pattern, but basically you made this frayed edge on this scarf, which is amazing. So how do we do that?
Well, the trick is to get a woven flannel, not a printed flannel, a woven flannel. So it's the same on both sides.
It's like shirting flannel, right?
Yeah,
is that yes? Flannel. Okay.
And of course the plaid is very nice. I like that.
I like that.
So you buy a 2-yard piece, and then you're going to actually be able to make a lot of scarves out of 2-yard piece. But then you would cut it. So if you cut it lengthwise, 14 inches, 2 yards, by 14 inches.
So that's 72 by 14. Yep.
And then you would take your seam ripper, and all you do on the end is just find the thread that you want to start with and kind of pull it out. And then you're going to be pulling it. At the beginning it's a little bit harder because there's so many different threads in there.
Okay.
Until you get it even and you get it down. And you want to do like one thread at a time. You want to put your feet up and
like a knitting project.
Yes, put your feet up and grab some hot chocolate and listen to some good music or watch a good movie, because it does take a while and you end up with a big huge pile of threads.
And you just do the ends though. Well, and you could actually then, if you're planning on washing it, you might want to just, once you've done an edge like this, sew a seam, just so it doesn't continue to unravel.
Yes, you can just fold it. What you would do to sew the seam after you've, like this one, I've already frayed the edges. And so what you would do is just take the raw edges on the sides, fold them over twice so you're hiding that raw edge.
Okay.
and then you can press it with an iron and then pin that with pins, and then you just do one long straight seam down each side.
How about right here? I was thinking we needed to have a seam right here to prevent further unraveling.
Well, I think if you sew a hem on both sides, you won't have to do that.
Okay, perfect.
But if you are going to do like this one, instead of folding over the edges and sewing the edges, I just decided to fray all
the
four
entire
edges.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you get a nice fray, and you could do that. You could fray it as much as you want on each side or as little as you'd like.
So one of my favorite tips you gave me, and I just want to cover it quickly as we wind up here, but this is actually a long scarf, but Beth has a really great tip for making it into an infinity scarf.
Yes. So any scarf that you have that's just long, you can make it into an infinity scarf by first folding it in half lengthwise and matching the edges.
Yep.
And then you can take a safety pin
right at the corner.
And if you think you're going to keep it as an infinity scarf, you could just put you could tack it with needle and thread, or if you want to change it, you can go back and forth.
All right, then show us how this is.
And you have got it like that.
Amazing to me.
You just put it on, wrap it around several times, and look in the mirror and get it just like you want it.
Thank you so much for these great ideas. Anybody can actually do these things.
Thank you for having me, Happy. It's been great fun.
To learn more about the projects we talked about today and all of the projects in Beth's book, visit our website.